Yay, the kids are finally asleep.
So do you feel like...
Playing a game?
I've got a feeling a boss fight's coming up.
Ooh, I just got wrecked.
Headshot, baby.
Ooh, it's your turn to get the baby.
So are you up to the challenge?
Run, 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 run.
And we're dead.
That's when I realized I have no idea what I'm doing.
GG. Welcome back to the KJ Before Dark Gamer Parents podcast. My name is Kevin and I'm joined by my wife and co-host Joanne.
Wait, before dark?
Yeah, so that's a bit different than what we normally do. This is the first time that we have recorded a podcast episode during the day. Normally it's late at night after the kids are asleep, kind of the only time that we normally, have an extra hour or two to get a recording in. Mm-hmm. This time we have somebody watching the kids during the day.
Yes.
And so, yeah, we're dedicating this time to record.
Yep. So if it's your first time here, we're gamer parents and we love our kids and we love our games. So if that resonates with you in any way, do check us out on Instagram at KJ_after_dark or our YouTube channel. That's where we stream. That's where we have our podcast recording as well. And also our Twitter. That's fairly new. That's at KJ_after_dark. So give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe, anything that helps.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you could definitely throw a rating and review our way. That would be super appreciated.
5 stars, 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly.
So since we're recording this during the daytime before dark, I just have a question for you, Kevin. Are you like someone who would consider yourself a night owl or a morning worm? What's the opposite of night owl?
Morning worm. What's a morning worm?
Oh wait, no, my bad. Sorry. It's early bird. So the morning worm. Why I said morning worm is because the worm gets up before the bird, and the early bird gets the worm. So the morning worm is definitely before the bird. So
yeah,
that's
but
why
the worm gets eaten in this scenario. So I don't think anybody wants to be the worm. But
that's my way of saying the latest thing is a night owl. The earliest thing is the morning worm. Never mind. English is not my first language anyway. So, but you get what I mean. What do you think you are?
Oh, I mean, I would have always said I was a night owl in the past, especially throughout college and everything. Never really had like early morning classes and that kind of thing, just because I would like to stay up later. But I mean, nowadays I don't really consider myself that much of a night owl.
No, it's not really like based on what you do. I mean, like you could like go to work every day and wake up early in the morning, but
I mean, if I had my choice, like on the weekends, I would rather sleep in and stay up later. So I guess that makes me a night owl, right?
Gotcha. And that's why we probably call our channel KJ After Dark.
That's true.
Apart from the kids being asleep.
Yeah, although I would say I'm really excited to do this during the day instead of late at night, just because I feel like I have a little bit more pep in my step.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not so tired of being at the very end of the day. I feel like we're still well rested from a good night's sleep.
And we sound more animated.
Yeah, so hopefully
usual.
it just turns out to be a better episode and more entertaining as we sound a little bit better and not like we are falling asleep over here.
Yeah, and we could be louder because no kids are asleep. Like when we regularly record our podcasts, we have to be like, ha ha ha. We kind of like tone it down because the kids are like in their rooms.
And we don't have to pause our recording because a kid wakes up or gets up in the middle of the night and all that. So
yeah,
hopefully this happens more often.
Hopefully. Anyways, how was your week, Kevin? Do you have any highlights on the games you're playing and what's going on there?
It was good. So, I mean, aside from there's the game of the week that we're playing, Rubber Bandits, which we'll get more into later. And we played that a number of times the last week. Mm-hmm. And, that's been fun. But aside from that one, I feel like I haven't done as much Hearthstone the last week or two. But, still doing a little bit of that. Not really doing anything different there. Did make a few new decks that I'm using more now. just because that's kind of the fun part when you're playing with the same decks over and over and over again, and it gets really old, and you need to make something new to try out, new strategies. Especially a couple weeks ago, they came out with another expansion, so that brought a whole bunch of new cards in, and generally, like, that's what I'll do when they add a bunch of new cards. I'll make a number of decks using those new cards, and that always kind of like revitalizes how much fun I'm having with the game. So that initial hype is kind of dropping off a little bit, so I'm playing it a little bit less than I was a couple weeks ago. But aside from Hearthstone, I am still really sucked into Grounded, and I'm just still loving that game. And in a single player session, I guess from the last time I talked about it, I have explored the Koi Pond, and there's a lab there to explore, and there is the Haze, which is like, really, it's the weed killer. Yeah, it's like a toxic area where you need a gas mask to go through, and all the bugs there are like mutated from the gas, so it's a little bit different. And there is also like the picnic table area, which is a little bit hard to get to because I had to build a stairway of grass and weed stems.
That was pretty cool,
just to get up there. So that took a while just to build that. You have to build it all the way up, and you're like the size of an ant. So picnic table is pretty high up there.
Yeah,
and it took a while to build that whole thing all the way up. But that was fun, and it looks really cool. It's like a big, gigantic, stairway.
I said that Kevin was building the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, it's the stairway to heaven, I like to call it too. So it takes you all the way up to the picnic table. I can get up there and explore around, and there's a lot of bees around the picnic table, which is fitting because I feel like every time we're at a picnic or at a picnic table, like, this bees just love that area. So I don't know why that makes sense.
There's honey, maybe.
No,
they make honey.
It is true. I wonder if I need to explore the part. I haven't gone too close to all the bees just because there's a lot of them, but one at a time I can definitely take them on. And then there's also an area that I've been able to get up to where it's like a barbecue that like tipped over, and so there's like hot coal and like ash all over the place. And so that's been a little bit exciting to kind of explore new areas of the yard. And there's still a lot to do. I just this last time got into the sandbox.
Oh yeah, there's a cute sandbox.
Yeah, so like I haven't really been able to explore that too much just because I don't know why. So it's like that's a sandbox, but they treat it like it's a desert, and like if you step on the sand, like you get this sizzling effect, and like you can't be in the sand for too long at a time, or else it gets too hot and you'll.
That must be a Texas backyard.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, the sandbox is extremely hot, and it's basically a hot desert. I haven't figured out yet how to really survive and progress through it, but I'm sure I'll probably have to Google that later. But that's about it so far for Grounded. Still loving it. I'm not ready to give it up yet. So I want to put a little bit of time here and there and do it to keep going through more areas. But
awesome.
What about you, Joanne? How's your week been?
Good. Game-wise, I've been doing Lost Ark. I'm still on Lost Ark, and I finished this area called Rondell. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but
it's fine. We just gotta say it with confidence, and everyone else will believe you.
Rondell. Anyways, I went to Rondell, and I kind of like progressed through the story by myself there, and it was really hard. Before, I had Kevin with me to level together and clear a zone together, and that was easier because he was kind of like the artillerist, and his damage was definitely more than mine. I'm more like, I'm a bard, so it's actually more of a supporting character, supposedly to heal and buff those around me. So doing the zone by myself was more time consuming than I thought, but I got through it. I got my 4th arc out of the 7. No, actually there are only 6 in there that we could get to until I don't know when, but I got all 4 right now. So I don't know if I'm gonna go back to Annika, which was the previous place, like many previous place to where Kevin is, and kind of help him around with the leveling so that we could do raids together. I heard and I saw on YouTube as well that the raids in Lost Ark are pretty challenging. Like even in World of Warcraft, when we were doing the raids, those were hard enough for me. And watching on YouTube the toughest raid in Lost Ark kind of make me realize that, man, this is gonna be harder than I thought, like whatever I thought I couldn't do in WoW might be more impossible in Lost Ark. So I know like when we were leveling up to get to level 50, we were kind of like thinking this is so easy just with like one swish and one swoosh, all the monsters would die so easily, but it does get harder in tier 3. But yeah, I'm still trying to get my item levels up. I have to farm for more gold. Haven't really tried other stuff this week. I just wanted to get through one story in one continent. I know I should focus on the dailies and stuff like that to get more gold and work on my item levels. But apart from that, yeah, Lost Ark, it's really pretty in Rondell. It's kind of like a cross between Ardenville in WoW and Bastion. When it's kind of like glowy, all glowy in the dark, and well as colorful and bright in some places. So I definitely took some screenshots and used the best of my selfie.
The selfie mode or whatever that they have?
Yeah, a selfie mode that I have in Lost Ark to take some cute screenshots of the game. So do check that out on Instagram. And what else?
What else have you been putting on Instagram lately?
Ooh, I've been cooking so much. I mean, I know I started cooking the food in the WoW, the World of Warcraft recipe book since last year, but I know I've been like slow on it because, when the kids were younger, it took a lot more energy and time to do it.
Yeah, I feel like you've been doing something out of the cookbook like almost every single day. And the pictures for all those are on Instagram, so
yes.
Check those out. Those are cool.
I try to do it every other day so I don't stress too much, but yeah, I think like right now I've already done about 25 recipes so far, and they were, what do you think? I thought they were really good, but for example, like there was this Westfall Stew that I just made like last week. Kevin, what do you think about that? It's kind of like a minestrone.
Yeah, the stew was
with red
one of the
wine.
better things in the last week or two. I mean, you've made like beef stews before, but this one was a lot different. I don't know if it's necessarily better. It's definitely on par with other
Like,
stews that you've made.
You can't really compare, right, with other stews because this is like different because it has red wine. I mean, the kick. There's
Maybe that's what
definitely
it
kick.
was. It had like a different flavor to it. Maybe it was the wine.
Yeah, the
But
red wine.
It didn't taste
changes.
like other stews to me, but it was still really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still really liked it. That one was really good.
And
And one that's obviously been a huge hit around here is the soft banana bread.
I know we've been making it like
How many times have you made that? so
in
far?
this 2 weeks we have made it like 6.
6 times, like in the last 2 weeks, and every loaf is gone like within a day.
I know you guys eat it faster than I could make it, or faster than the banana could ripen enough.
Yeah,
But that's a definite. I would definitely recommend it.
the only
or-
complaint that I have on that one is that there's not enough.
I did
Yeah,
make double
and
recipe, and
Tell everyone, what do you put on top?
on top of it is like cream cheese whipped with butter and
It was a mixture of cream cheese and butter, right? You
sugar.
blend it all together
and
sugar.
Yeah, it's the powdered sugar. Yeah, so that was why it's so good.
That's a must. Yeah, if you're gonna make this recipe,
Make sure
make
you
sure
make
you
the
put
top.
that cream cheese butter combination on top is really good. It's the icing on the cake, or maybe the icing on the banana bread.
Yeah, icing on the bread.
Oh, and another good one was the chocolate cookies that you made out of the recipe book.
Oh yeah, the chocolate cookies were I don't know, that's our son's favorite cookie wise. It's not so sweet. I would suggest adding more sugar, but it's not so sweet. It has that dark chocolatey taste and there's pepper in it too.
Yeah, the taste was not super sweet. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's cool like how they look, and go check out the picture. They kind of look like little gingerbread men, but little chocolate cookie characters.
Yeah, because when I was in Dalaran and there was this vendor, she wasn't selling them, but her cart, little food cart, had this little gingerbread chocolate cookies. I mean, but they look like gingerbread cookies, but they're chocolate cookies, and like around them. And I used to screenshot them. So when I made it, I was like really excited to put it side by side, and yeah, that's on the story in.
Yeah, I think
Instagram.
the icon in the game is of kind of looks like a gingerbread man, which is why these ones are in the same shape. But I almost felt bad eating them, like biting all their limbs off, eating the little cookie characters. So
Not my gumdrop button.
anything but the gumdrop buttons.
Yeah, that's right. And then I made our first reel. I'm not like tech savvy or like younger people are, but I did try to make a first reel of our World of Warcraft pop-up book that I was really into. Like it brought up that inner child inside of me to see that book come to life and pop up. And
Yeah, we bought this a little while ago, right? We've had
I
this for a
know,
while.
but we just didn't have the chance to explore it without the kids trying to tear it apart because it's really fragile. Like when you open it, you
yes.
can't really like have anyone pull on it.
Well, it's funny because our kids also have their own pop-up book, and Joanne, you know, there's a few pages in there that have been ripped out like multiple times and been fixed with tape multiple times.
Yeah, I
and,
know. I've been
like
trying.
constantly broken. They don't even really work anymore.
Yeah, and this is a collector's edition. Kind
Yeah,
of
so
thing,
this
like,
is not
not for
the kids. This
Yeah.
is for the big kids.
for the big kids with little kids. So
Yeah, and where did you get that? Do you remember?
yeah, I got it from the Blizzard. I think the gear shop online.
I wonder if they still sell this today.
I wonder too. But it's so cool, like you get to see Stormwind, all the main cities, Stormwind, and then on the sides of it you have like other little pop-up things that are not in the reel, but that will explain the lore of each city, for example. Like
It's kind of like a book, and like it tells a story a little bit.
yes,
of like
it does. Kind of like
city.
yeah, it even like shows you the Teldrassil and the burning of it and everything like that. So if you're a fan and you like to collect stuff, definitely get that book.
Yeah, that's definitely something to hold on to and to check out every once in a while. And it's being like a big pop-up book like that. It's super thick, right? Isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's super thick.
yeah, just a big pop-up book. It's not too many pages, but it's pretty amazing. Like the work and the detail that they put into making it. It's not just like a simple one little thing pops up. It's not like we give somebody like a card where like when you open it and something pops out. It's nothing like that. It's way more intense.
Yeah, and even like in the reel when I open it, you can only see like the front part of it, but if you go like behind it and look in each, there's detail of the insides of the building as well.
Oh yeah,
so that
all
was
directions.
Like so amazing how they think of everything.
Yeah, I don't even know how they would design this or put it together, but they did it and it looks really cool. So you can check out that reel on Instagram, but it's there. But yeah, that's about it for Instagram, I think, right? Anything else we're missing?
Nope, that's our week. Been busy.
Yeah,
Always.
it's been a good week. Definitely ready to see what comes our way in this next one too.
Figured out the game for the next week, but
We have a few ideas, you know, and we'll figure that out before we stream on Tuesday. And that being said, streams for Tuesday nights, 9:30 Central over on our YouTube channel. So check it out there. Don't know what we're going to be playing this next time, but I guarantee it'll be something cool. So that game of the week was Rubber Bandits.
Rubber Bandits. It's the kind of game that would help you die laughing in the game.
Yeah, I felt like the last time we played, I had even more fun with it.
Oh yeah, you're such a pro.
Yeah, it kind of just depends on what happens in the game or in the match, but definitely a lot of laughs, a lot of smiles that come out of the game. You know, and it's a fun, chill, relaxing. I don't know, so super relaxing, but not necessarily relaxing. I take that back.
Well, I think it's a fun game for gamer couples.
It's stress free. It's stress free. I feel like
it's really nice to play with your friends and loved ones because it's not as stressful as Fall Guys. Yeah, it's not as stressful as Fall Guys, although the art kind of seems similar.
It doesn't feel. It's definitely not penalizing, right? Yeah. I feel like in Fall Guys, like if you lose in an early round, then you have to wait forever for it to load into another match, and you miss out on another crown and all that stuff. But like I feel like with this one, like if you lose just like one round, there's that's only one round of the entire game, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can always come back in the next round, and even if you like do lose, like you still get points and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
And
you get money, but you don't get
you still
points.
get money. Yeah, I guess it depends on what place you get, but yeah, you still kind of get some rewards along the way. And just like the more you play, the more rewards you get, and it doesn't really matter that much whether you get first place or not. So I don't know. It feels like more stress free, and definitely not penalized for like not doing well. You can't really go backwards either if you don't do well. So yeah, it's a kind of a fun game to like hop in and play for a little bit, especially with friends. Just because I think you're all that much more likely to laugh about things, or
I mean, it's It's a player for four, right? I mean, it's a four-player game, and then you kind of like compete with one another. But even though you're competing, it's not like the kind of competition that get mad about at the end. You're just like laughing about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of put into a room together with a bunch of different items or objects so that you can pick up most things, and then you can also throw them. So it depends on, if you pick up like a baseball bat, you can either swing it around or you can throw it. You can pick up like traffic cones or crowbars, or what else is there? Chairs, all kinds of stuff that you can just pick up and throw across the room and try to hit somebody, or you can walk up and swing it around too. So, and there's different modes that you can play. So there's ones where like you have,
What's the max point that we should reach?
I think 21 is
I
what
thought it was 21. It was weird. I was
I don't know why it was
why
not
not
20.
Because
or-
at one point you were 20 points, and I thought, okay, the game's over. But then no, it's not. Like,
Yeah, I don't know why that
I think
was.
it's 21. But yeah, so you can play the mini games. There are like 6 mini games, I think, in there.
There's like 6 different modes you can play, and they're all a little bit different. Some are about like doing damage to each other. Some are about these bombs that drop in that you have to throw at each other and not get hit by bombs.
Some are about stealing donuts from the cops.
Also, the whole idea is the game Rubber Bandits is that you are a bandit, and so like there's one mode where you're trying to steal like from a bank, like a heist. There's other ones where you're like fighting back against like security guards or cops. I don't know what they are. That's just one of the modes.
Then there's the piggy bank thing that you have to hold the pig for 9 seconds, I think, to win.
Well, like, you're all bandits, but you're also like against each other
Yeah.
too. So it's kind of the main thing. You're kind of competing against each other in the various different modes. I kind of like the ones that are pushing more towards like the action stuff, like where you have a certain amount of lives and you're trying to survive or take out the other people,
Or
or the
brawl.
one where you're just trying to get the most knockdowns. Not necessarily like the piggy bank one. Like,
Yeah.
I like the ones that kind of encourage combat.
Yeah, I think it's very easy for non-gamers to even play.
Yeah, and there's not even like a whole lot of buttons. It's you move around. You don't really have to worry about like the camera or anything like that, and you're just looking for something to pick up, and you can either throw it or hit somebody with it, and like that's about it. There's some items that are like weapons. Like by weapons, I mean like guns, or have like a ranged aspect to them. Like there is a gun that freezes people if it hits them. There's a flamethrower, which seems really good.
I like the flamethrower.
There's like a machine gun too. There's like a spray of bullets, and then there is also like the rocket launcher.
I think there's an Uzi. I didn't
Yeah,
get to
I think
use
that's
it.
the machine gun that I'm talking about. I think it was
Okay.
some kind of like an Uzi or something. So those ones seem to be really good, like way better than any of the other weapons.
And I like how every time you play, like, even though there are different modes, they're always in different locations. You notice that? Like,
Yeah, there's a bunch of different maps that it will put
Yeah.
you in. It's never always the same. Although we've seen some of the same levels
seen some
multiple
of the same
times here
ones.
now. But like at least it makes it always feel a little bit different. If there was a lack of levels, it would definitely take away from how much fun it is. But there's enough levels that it adds a lot of variety. And I feel like the levels are also really unique. Like every one has something cool about it, right? Like there's the one at the dock where
there's
at
a
a certain point of
tsunami.
the match, there's like a big wave that comes in, and you need to be like on the higher platform to not get hit by it. So like when that's coming, everybody tries to get up. Either that, or you are completely oblivious like us, and you just get taken out by the big wave.
Yeah. And I think the gameplay, I mean, not the gameplay, the duration for each game mode is pretty short.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty short. So I mean, I don't think you can really pause it like in between them. I mean, you probably have like a minute or so before the next match starts. If you go do something, but I mean, even then, it's not that penalizing if you were to leave, and then it's really quick and easy to start another match.
You'll
You're
probably
not
just be
really
number 4 anyways,
dedicated
like
to anything.
me.
You don't feel like you're giving anything up by quitting.
And with the money, you can actually buy more skins or characters. So
Yeah, I
that's
don't think
pretty
the
cool.
money actually does anything to give you an edge or an advantage. The
Just
only thing
more
really I've
character
seen,
choices.
yeah, the only thing I've seen so far is you unlock like different characters that you can play as, which is cool. You can kind of choose how you want to look and what character you're going to run around as, but nothing that puts you at a disadvantage or an advantage if somebody else has these things.
Yeah, but this is definitely one of the games that you want to recommend to your non-gamer partner if you have any, because it's so easy to play and have fun together, to bond on.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a game either for you and your significant other or you and your buddies, to just hop in and 2, 3, or 4 of you want to kind of share some laughs and have a good time, and then you can jump in and out of pretty easily and quickly, whenever you have people over or just want to get a good laugh in and bond, like Joanne said.
So should we jump into the rating, since it's
sure,
simple, and we'll probably give more reviews while we're rating it?
Yeah, for sure. So first category that we have for the rating is convenience. I know we kind of just talked about that, but in the convenience factor, I am giving Rubber Bandits an 8. Just because kind of everything that I said, that you're not penalized for really leaving the game. At least doesn't feel like it's that bad. You're not missing out on too much.
Yep, easy to pick up and learn.
Yeah, games are easy to hop back in and start a new game. So giving it an 8 for convenience. What about you, Joanne?
I'm also giving it an 8.
An 8 as well. Are you copying me? I'm going to make you go first on the next category.
No, I'm not copying you. It's true. I had it in my mind that I was going to give it an 8 for
okay.
that.
Did we miss anything on convenience? Any reason why you didn't give it a 10, or any reason why you're getting that high of a score?
Well, there are more games that are more convenient than this, but I was just giving it an 8 because like once you start and then there's a 30-second break in between each mode, it's not penalizing, but kind of pushes you lower if you kind of AFK for a bit during the game, because other people would just be there and knock you down. It's not like you can be in a safe spot.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, there's definitely no like hard pause in the game. Gets you completely out of anything negative from being away. Another
reason why I also gave it an 8 instead of a 9 or a 10 is because like every time I switch to the different screen, let's say like YouTube or something, and then it just like blacks out the entire screen, and then like to go back in, I have to wait for another like 5 seconds before it goes back in. It just annoys me that way. I like games that I could like switch screens without it affecting the other screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could also be depending on your settings too. So
yeah, maybe.
But next category is on communication.
I'll go first.
I'm going to make you go first to make sure that you don't copy my number.
Yeah.
What do you think about the communication?
Communication is not necessary at all because you're playing against 3 other people. So there's no in-game audio or anything, and I really don't think it's necessary. So I'm giving it a 1.
1. Okay. So I was thinking about communication in a different approach. I know most of the time we're talking about it as far as like how much do you need to communicate, or how much is it required to do well in the game, either mostly about like strategy or working together and that kind of thing. But in this game, I was thinking it more about like how much does it get us talking, which I think is the main thing, right? Like we don't want to play a game that we don't talk about.
I don't think we talk a lot about this game either.
But I mean, we're constantly going back and forth, like basically kind of like repeating like what just happened. It would be like, you throw a cone at my head and be like, oh, you just threw a cone at my head.
Oh,
or like,
I see what you mean.
Like,
okay.
Oh, you got me with that bomb or something.
I mean, I did say it's good for bonding, but communication wise.
Yeah. So I feel like this game prompts us to talk a lot.
Okay.
More than most games. Just because like it's always wild. I feel like I'm kind of comparing this game to like Super Smash Brothers in terms of that, because like you can't like play a game like that with someone that you're close to and like not say anything. I feel like that would be really hard to not, even though you're not really saying anything important, or like you don't have to be saying things in order to play the game the same way.
Yeah.
It's not required, but like...
Okay, then I have to reconsider my score if you're looking at it at that point of view, right? Because then it will be more on par.
Do you want to take back your 1?
Yeah, I'll take back my 1. I'm not copying you, so you haven't given yours, right?
You let me guess. You want to give it... Okay, yeah. I haven't given mine yet, so I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, I'm going to give... If you say it that way, like, you something like to bond about and to... laugh about while we're playing, then I'll give it about a 6 or 7. So let me give it a 6.
Okay, a 6. I'm writing that down. You can't change it anymore.
Okay, I can't change it anymore. Your turn.
All right. So for communication, I already wrote down an 8. For everything that I said before, like this is a game where we're like constantly, words are always coming out of our mouth, whether that's laughing or complaining about something the other player just did to you, or bragging about something you just did, or something like that. Like it's always like a back and forth, based on whatever's going on.
Haha, that's fair. You always brag while playing anyways.
I have a lot of things to brag about. It's
yes,
I do pretty well. I did pretty
you
well.
Earn it. You earn it. You have bragging rights because you earn it. That's good.
If I remember right, I think I won last time we played. Not bragging though.
Yeah. Anyways, now story, right?
Yep, story is next. I'm making you go first again, though. What do you?
No. Before I go first, you're gonna tell me what is the definition of story here. You're talking about the game story.
You gotta be
right?
thinking about. Well, no, I don't have anything special about this
Okay,
one.
just making sure in case you're like, oh, I don't think about it this way. I'm thinking about it, the story of our life intertwined with.
No, I got no curveballs on this one.
Okay, story is pretty straightforward. There's no story, so I'm gonna give it a 1 on story, and I'm not taking it back. It's 1.
Yep, that's I gave it a 1 too. Literally,
you're copying me now.
Yeah, there's not really any story. Everybody's a bandit.
That is true.
And you drop into whatever area you are, and that's it. That's all there is for story. There's not really any story. That's not really the point of the game, so we gotta take it as it is. After story, repeatability. What do you think about repeatability?
I will say it's pretty high. I thought it's pretty fun. I think that's a game that when our kids are older, we would love to play it with them.
Yeah, I could see Dylan playing this one sometime in the not too far future. Like I said, not a whole lot of controls to worry about. It's pretty easy to learn. You could probably just jump in and push buttons and have fun with it still. So I think it's one he would enjoy here at some point.
I know, as a family of 4, imagine if we all have our own, they could play on the console.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
I don't know if there's anybody else in a similar scenario as us, but I don't know, Friday night game night or something like that where we're all around to play a 4-player game together. This would be one that would be fun, right? If we're all just sitting in the living room and playing Rubber Bandits and laughing and just having a good time. Yeah. Our kids 3 and 1 aren't quite there yet, but in a few more years, they're both old enough to
the dream
play games like this. That would be so cool.
Since it's 4 players,
a lot of games are 4 players, so we gotta keep things as they are. There's 4 of us now. If we have another one, there'll be 5. It'll be an odd number. It'll be different. So a lot of 4-player games out there. So, did you rate it on repeatability?
Yeah, I said 1 and you said 1.
No, repeatability.
Oh wait, sorry, that was story. No, I haven't rated it. So repeatability is pretty high. I'll just probably give it a 9.
9. Okay. A 9 on repeatability.
I don't know what's stopping me from giving it a 10.
Do you feel like there's enough variety in the game?
Maybe that's it. That's what's stopping me from giving it a 10. The variety, 6 modes. I wish there were more modes since it's such a simple game. Yeah, so that's why. Thanks for answering my question.
Okay. Yeah. I will tell you why I'm not giving it a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, or a 5. Because I'm giving it a 4 on repeatability.
Why?
And the main thing for me is that variety. I'm happy with the number of levels there are. You basically put into a different map every time, and there's a lot of repeats, but there's enough, I think, for the different levels. But then as far as the different modes, there's only 6 of them, and you could play all of them in a 20-minute span. And really, I only like maybe 3 of them, just so it's half. The other half are not quite as enjoyable. It just starts to kind of feel more stale after a few days of playing. So I think it would be fun depending on who you're playing with. I get more fun out of it playing with you. If it wasn't with you, I would not be playing this game by myself.
Okay,
if we had friends over or something and we want to do a 4-player game, where everybody could hop in, kind of like what we were talking about before. That would be fun to do, but I don't see it being a game we go back to that often.
No, I gave it a high rating because I can just imagine the four of us in the future playing it every Friday as our game session, family game session, and maybe for a year even, every Friday. Just
maybe, or one Friday and then switch to a different game. We'll see.
Depends on how fast they catch up.
Yeah. Next category is fun. What were you thinking in the category of fun?
I would say a 5.
5
I mean, it is fun,
fun,
but also the lack of modes, and I don't know, like it's not something I'll get back to as often after this because we have other games to play and Hook on Lost Ark. So yeah, I'm giving it a 5. It's fun, and I think it'll be more fun. It depends on, like what you said earlier, it depends on who you're playing it with.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only times we really come back to this one would need to be, maybe at some point if Dylan plays it, or if we have friends over or something and we're somehow able to play it. I know we play on PC, so that's going to be different, but for anyone who plays it on console, I think it's easier to do it, couch mode where you just plug in multiple controllers, and I think you could probably play it that way.
Yeah, I actually already uninstalled it on my computer. So
well, there you have it, folks. That's how much Joanne likes this game. She's already uninstalled it before the week is even over. So,
and I gave it a high repeatability. Well, that was like for the future.
It's hard, yeah. Literally, if you do not want to ever repeat playing a game again, you uninstall it. So.
That's funny.
All right, well, that's the last category. So, adding them all up, I gave it a total of 27 out of 50, and you gave it a 29 out of 50. So
yay! We're
pretty
close
there. We, deviated some, especially on repeatability, where you, for some reason,
that's close to 3 stars.
Thought it was repeatable for at least a few seconds there, long enough to say 9.
Well,
was that before or after you uninstalled the game?
No, I uninstalled it already, like before our podcast. So.
Gotcha. I'm just giving you a hard time. But so not the best overall scores, but I think that makes sense. Definitely lacking in the story department, which is okay. Some games aren't designed to tell a story.
That's true. And this is definitely a family game.
Yeah, it's one we might see at some point in the future. But that's about it for now on this game. I think we are pretty much wrapping this week up.
I can't believe it's episode 15. It's already halfway through.
Are we? Is this episode 15?
Yeah, this is episode
We didn't mention
15.
that. Normally we start off by saying what episode.
I'm just pointing out. So, if you have any game suggestions, which I think it suggests.
Did someone? I know we it's been a while since we've asked for game suggestions. So,
but that was like what do you call it? A single player game. So
that doesn't really quite work for us so much.
Yeah, it was True Colors, I think. Anyways, definitely suggest it on Discord, on Instagram message, YouTube comments.
We give you plenty of ways to reach out to us.
I know.
So biggest one would be on Discord, which will be in the episode info of the podcast episode info or whatever.
Yeah.
So drop us a note there in the Discord chat if you have any game suggestions. We would love to play them. Really, only criteria is that we can play together. So co-op or multiplayer is preferred for those.
Yep, so that we can encourage gamer couples to bond, or gamer couple and non-gamer couple to bond even.
Yeah, really, because what we don't want is for us to both be in here with our headsets on, playing completely different games and not talking about them. So, I mean, that's kind of the whole point. We want to be able to bond and play together and enjoy each other. So.
Yep, so thanks for tuning in and listening. Hopefully this was much more of a upbeat podcast since it was before dark.
Yeah, I feel like it was. I mean, I feel a lot better. I feel like I could keep going. That's all we have for you this week. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
And we will talk to you in the next one.